Okay. Okay, so the sun is already up where I'm at. I've pretty much been doing these reviews throughout the entire night since like what 11 or 12. It's like 6 right now, so it's man, this series has been hard to put down. I'm almost at the end, home stretch. It's like we're on chapter 188 now. Let this sink in. There's only 8 more chapters left, which is nuts because it only goes up to chapter 196. And I'm wondering how this series is going to close itself out. It's like, it's insane to me. There's still so many loose ends, so many questions. How are they going to close this out in 8 chapters? I don't see that happening well. You know? There's just so many questions. The implications of everything that's going on right now and its effect on animal society. How are you going to close that out in 8 chapters? Because this is the final volume. Volume 22. Yeah. 188 is the start of volume 22. That's where we are now. The last volume. 8 more chapters. That's it. Then we're done. Huh. Well, let's just enjoy it while we got it, I guess. I think I'm almost out of energy, so this might be my last one for a couple hours. And then I'll finish it up. We'll see. We'll see how I feel after this chapter, if it doesn't wear me out too much, but let's jump into it. So, who is that guy? Those distinctive gazelle horns. Is this a coincidence? What kind of animal is Melon? Is it true that he's killed many animals regardless of species? Is he in the back alley market right now? Are the rumors true that he's a carnivore-herbivore hybrid? Hybrid? Beyond the gathered press. So this guy looks over there. What kind of animal is Melon? And then he's like, hybrid. So why did he respond that? He responded to hybrid. Oh my god, that's his dad. Yeah, because he responded to hybrid. He's like, yeah. Excuse me. I'm Melon's father. What? Okay, so, yes, okay, I got it. So it was him. An important person has appeared suddenly. Welcome to Beastars chapter 188. 188. Raise your neglectful hand. Oof, that title. Huh. Melon's father. Dude, why is he showing up in chapter 188 of all times? Why now? Any of... I'll just land down, okay. Any other time he could have showed up. And he could have been placed anywhere. Why is he being placed at the end? I don't get it. We'll see. If I enter the back alley market right now, I wonder if I'll be able to see him. Alright, so that's Melon's dad. Don't eat my portraits. As everyone says, he's a half gazelle from me, and as everyone says, he's half gazelle from me, his dad, and his leopard mom. Well, my son, what has he done? Why is he? I don't understand why he's showing up right now. I don't get his purpose as a... And if you have to go on your pad. Okay, go on your pad if you gotta go. Yeah. I'll feed you after, okay? Yeah? Good girl. Okay. If I enter the back alley market right now, I wonder if I'll be able to see him. So what has my son done? So he's completely oblivious then. But why is this man showing up? Can you tell? Alright, so the press is like, this is an exclusive scoop. Can you tell us your story? The child of a gazelle dad and a leopard mom? Is that even possible? How are you feeling right now? He crushes that. Who's that? Oh, that's Gosha. So Gosha steps in. It doesn't matter how that child was born. Do not make a spectacle of interspecies families. Interspecies families. I love how Gosha is stepping in right now. Because no, stop that. Stop chewing on me. Let me go. Stop it. I know you want attention. You gotta wait. Okay? You gotta wait. Okay. Alright, so like... Okay, so yeah, I like how Gosha's stepping in now. What? What are you doing? We're working here. Uh-oh. Grandpa's coming out now. Old Beast Club peaceful meeting. He's a monster. What's he doing? He goes... Oh, he's spitting. He's spitting his venom at the TV equipment. What? Our equipment? It's Komodo dragon venom. If you touch it, you'll die. And he farts to lift himself off in the air. And he's just breaking everything. Anybody hurt? Everybody fine, right? Okay then. He goes from being a monster to like a gentle giant and like a heartbeat. Use polyethylene bags to dispose of the contaminated equipment as soon as you can. Then when you get home, wash your hands with a strong alcohol disinfectant before hugging your wife and kids. Let's go, Yafya. Gosha, you. You know what I'm thinking? We'll bring him to his son. Wait. What the heck? You've got guts revealing yourself as Melon's father in public. The least we can do is help. Wait, so just that little amount of venom was enough to help him break through this wall, which is made out of... I thought it was steel. Or no, I think it was just like concrete or something like that. But he broke through easily just like that. Wow. He's actually a beast. I don't think that's how venom works. I don't know if it's corrosive like that, but okay. I guess in the Beastars universe. But, you've got guts revealing yourself in public as Melon's father. Why is he showing up right now, though? That's the part I don't understand. What reason would he have for just showing up? It's strange because he doesn't even know what Melon has done, though. So it's like, what reason does he have for being here? And I like how... I keep losing my point on this. I like how Gosha was the first to react. He just didn't want the press to make a spectacle out of interspecial marriage or interspecial, romance, because Gosha frequently takes care of kids made out of interspecial marriages, or well, not marriages, romances and stuff like that. So he didn't want them to like be discriminated against even further. So it makes sense why he acted like this, because we don't know what Melon's dad is gonna say. Right? Gosha acted without having the full picture, or an idea who this man was. It was essentially to protect his own, and even Legacy, because Legacy is essentially a hybrid as well. And it's easy to forget that because he has the appearance of a wolf. But Melon and all the other kids, they don't really have a place in society because of their appearance. They can't just blend in like Legacy can. They don't get that option. They get questions and social stigma just by virtue of them existing, which sucks. Okay, so I was just thinking about, who is this? Is that Wait a minute, who is this? Okay, that's Gosha, and that's Liano, and that's Legacy. Okay, because this is when they took that picture. Where is his wife? I keep asking this question. I don't think it's gonna get answered. I keep repeating the same thing because it's on my mind. Like, we see Liano right here in Legacy. What happened to this man's wife? Did she die in childbirth? I don't think that was ever stated. I don't think she did. I don't know. You would think they would just have been like that. You would think they would have answered that flat out. But I don't know. But look how Melon's dad just showed up out of the blue. Like, I thought that was just a loose end. And my suspicion turned out to be correct. So I'm thinking... but then again... like... I don't know. Maybe it's just not relevant. Like, where will she even, like, fit if they were to... I don't know. Maybe that storyline, it just isn't relevant. Because we're focusing on, like, Legacy and his fight with Melon, and his dad got introduced now. But it just got me thinking, because why show this picture here? Anyway. So Yafya's thinking, if he's really Melon's father, he could be the key to stopping this whole mess. But, and Gosha's like, I'm gonna see my dearest grandson as well. It's like killing two birds with one stone. I've had to deal with all sorts of animals. Something's off about this guy. Something horrible. If he doesn't look like he can fight, he doesn't look like he can fight. But he has some kind of hidden weapon. We'll fight back. What? Wait, that's actually scary. This is coming from Yafya, the Beastar who's fought like countless people in combat. What's so horrible about this guy that scares him? Something's off about it. I don't like it. I'm getting like chills. Like, what's so terrible? Hi. I'll give you a pet. I'll give you a head pat. How about that? Yeah. Okay. Play later. We'll play later. Take you for a walk. Okay. Well, it's been a while since you've seen your son. What do you want to say to him first? Well, I don't really have anything to say to him. The fuck? Wait, what? I don't really have anything to say to him? Even Gosha's like, huh? Even Yafya's like, what? Well, long story short, I left Melon when he was a baby, and I thought I should see him now that he's grown up. How can I put this? I was young and foolish, and I ended up in a relationship with a female leopard. Before I start, let's see what else he has to say. I just wasn't prepared for a relationship with the carnivore. So let's see what Yafya says. The truly horrifying being, the real evil one, is this guy right here. My man. What? Wow. What a piece of shit. Hold on. So I left when Melon was a baby, and I thought I should see him now that he's grown up. So he's just a deadbeat then. Yafya put it perfectly. The real evil one is this guy right here. That actually gets my blood boiling. So, like, are you familiar with Frankenstein and Frankenstein's monster? A lot of people misinterpret Frankenstein actually being the monster, but the Frankenstein is actually the creator of Frankenstein's monster. A lot of people get that mixed up. So basically, like, who's the real evil one? Is it the one who created the monster, right? Or is it the monster itself? The monster can't really be anything other than what it was born as, right? This is an allegory or a metaphor for Melon, right? And the creator only wants to deal with the monster only when it's causing troubles for others, right? But other than that, can you really blame the monster? If it was created as a monster, it's gonna be a monster. Melon, not Melon. Ein, put down those Crocs. Hey, Ein. Hey, buddy, leave those Crocs alone. Yeah, you. Yeah, leave those Crocs alone. Stop it. Leave those Crocs alone. I need those Crocs. Okay, so yeah, let's continue. Everyone would stare at us when we were walking down the street, and she loved me so much that I was scared she was gonna eat me someday. So I just ran away. Any guy would have done the same, right? He's an actual motherfucker. Piece of shit. Stronza. Wow. Holy shit, what a Stronzo. This guy right here is the worst. Like, I'm trying to gather my thoughts on this one, because that's just terrible. Like, look, he's a coward and he's selfish. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's completely understandable why he did it, but that's still a horrendous thing to do to your child and your, well, not even wife. I guess that was his girlfriend. They were like never married. And it, God, he's such a bastard. It's like, you get it? Society made him feel like a freak for like dating a carnivore, you know, and you could see how it makes it hard to like live his life, you know, which made him like abandon Melon's mom and Melon, you know. But at the same time, wait, let me see if there's anything else. There's nothing else? Okay. Jeez. He's so dismissive. I don't know, man. He's just so dismissive of the relationship. And he wasn't prepared for the relationship at all. But yet, he made Melon. Right? And he didn't take responsibility for that. And he would get looks, right? Especially during their time. So I'd imagine that in an interspecial like romance was uncommon, right? Because I think it was stated in like the series that it's starting to become more common, but we don't know how far back though. Like, it's not unheard of, but it's still quite uncommon though. Ein, sit. Good girl. I'll give you a nice treat for that one. After I'm done. I'm almost done. Okay, so yeah. So society put a lot of pressure on Melon's dad. I mean, I'm trying to fill in the blanks here. Like, if all he got was just looks, we've seen what that can do. With that chapter where that leopard and the sheep went out in public, those were two females of different species just hanging out, and we saw the looks they were getting. Now imagine if you were in an actual relationship, right, with someone who's of the opposite sex. Like, how would you explain that when that's super uncommon in society? And it's actually looked down upon because of how their society is structured. Like I said before, that same species friendship and romance is incentivized, right? And it's so sad because of all the speculation. Like, this makes Melon even more tragic. Him being oh my god, Melon's dad being alive and the circumstances surrounding his continuous existence makes Melon's mother such a tragic character in so many ways. She was abandoned, essentially. He abandoned them. And she was left to raise Melon as a single mother. I don't care where you are. Being a single mother is hard under any circumstance. And on top of that, she was a societal outcast along with Melon, right? She was an outcast. She was bullied. She was talked about behind her back. She didn't have anyone besides Melon. And this goes back, oh my gosh, this is sad. Just bringing back to my earlier point, I knew something was off in those earlier chapters, and now I just confirmed what it was. I believe, don't get me wrong, I understand what it is now. Melon's past and I'm not dismissing that he might have, I'm saying he might have went through trauma. It's not all Melon's fault. He's the way he is. His mother had a lot to do with it as well. But he may have been getting anyway, I'm trying to articulate my thoughts about this. Melon's mother was an outcast as well, as I was saying before. And the thing that colored Melon's perception most of all, something I finally put my finger on, it was fear. And let me explain what I mean by that. It was fear that he might have gotten eaten, right? That makes sense, right? Because it was the same fear that drove Melon's father away. He says it right here. Everyone would stare at us when we were walking down the street, and she loved me so much that I was scared she was going to eat me one day. Does that sound familiar? That's what really drove Melon to kill. It wasn't, I feel like Melon low-key did the same thing his dad did. He just justified it a different way. She finally told him the truth, but Melon couldn't process it. And you remind me so much of your dad's flavor, how she said it with the trill of her tongue, and his name, Melon. A life as sweet as melons. It became something that terrified him, to the point where his fight instincts kick in. His fight or flight instincts kicked in, which triggered something in him akin to a psychopath. He decided to kill her right then and there as a way to justify it all. Don't get me wrong, Melon's mother isn't blameless, and there were sexual inappropriate undertones that were there, where she may have been doing stuff to Melon. May have, but it's strange but it's weird looking at it under the context that Melon was afraid for his life. Where in reality, it seems like she truly did just love him. And he wasn't used to that. It's weird looking at it like that now. Melon truly didn't know how to process love. He didn't understand it. That's how I'm interpreting this. I could be wrong. Let me know what you think. Because all she did was speak about Melon's father in a loving manner. And did love him despite him leaving. Right? And what bred this fear? Rumors that Melon has heard, right? On the outside, because his mother didn't leave the house. Rumors he's heard from the neighbors. Rumors he's heard from his classmates. Just speculation every day by virtue of him existing. Right? So he just assumed that the rumors were true. That she did devour his dad. Which made him fear for his own well-being. And I thought it was strange, I mentioned before, when Melon put the iron on her hand, she could have fought back. She could have put up resistance. She didn't do any of that, right? She just died. She just, took what was coming to her without any resistance whatsoever, because she would rather die than she got abandoned. They got abandoned. And you know what I'm thinking about? Have you ever seen an anime called Code Geass? One of the most profound scenes is when Lelouch is confronting both his mother and his father in the what's it called? It's the Sword of Ragnarok scene when they're trying to kill God. I know, only in anime, right? But he's like, when Lelouch is confronting his parents, and it's basically Lelouch's ideology versus Charles's ideology of, Charles wants to create a world without lies, where Lelouch says no, like sometimes we need the lie. And Charles was writing off his sister's smile, not only smile, as being nothing more than a lie, and sometimes you need that lie to keep on going, right? And then he calls out his parents. He's like, the truth of the matter is you're just you're both pieces of shit, using this to justify your actions and how you were cowards. And the truth of the matter is that you want to avoid is that you abandoned us. And that's how it relates to Beastar. That's exactly what's happening here, right? And it's sad because Melon's mother, her heart was just broken beyond repair, And to raise Melon, he also served as a daily reminder. Right? But she smiled anyway, every single day. I'm just gonna go on a limb here and say the smile, it wasn't just for her, it was for him also. Because I think back to the origin of his name. She wants him to live a life as sweet as Melon's. So, if these two meet, I wonder how Melon is going to recount with the fact that he killed his mother based on prejudice claims from outsiders who didn't know anything about him, right? They didn't understand the situation and they made him cynical in life, right? With their own cynical and cruel claims, which just outcasted him even more. It's insane to me. Man, Melon is just a tragic character. But this is Beastars at its best. Because it raises like the societal issues that I got into the series for, and it makes you think about things you wouldn't have thought about before. The societal pressure that got to Melon, that crushed Melon's dad, he could not hack it under the pressure, and neither could Melon. But he adapted to it in a different way, right? Society made Melon. Everyone was at fault. Don't get me wrong, that doesn't mean Melon's blameless, right? Doesn't mean he's blameless at all. There's a level of accountability here, because at a point he didn't know what he was doing, and yet he kept doing it anyway, right? He's not 100% absolved. He's still guilty as hell because he chose it, most definitely, and he chose to keep going. Oh, he even said it himself. He killed over 40 animals, and it's sad. Think of it like this. It's sad because he didn't even need to kill one, starting with his mother. I'm pretty sure he killed those kids before he killed her, but still. Society made Melon. Oh man, it's just so much. Society's cruel treatment of him. And put down those Crocs. Anyway. Oh jeez. But anyway, it goes back to who's worse, Melon or Melon's piece of shit dad. It goes back to the Frankenstein versus Frankenstein's monster argument. Like, the monster is the one that's causing chaos, but ultimately it's misunderstood and reacts to people violently due to their initial treatment of them, right? Because of those initial first appearances, which is how society bases their, how society bases their view off of a people, like how they viewed Legacy in the beginning of the series with him being a big scary gray wolf, you know? First impressions and perceptions, right? But at the same time, Frankenstein, the creator, created life with no thought for the possible consequences of creating such a unique creature, you know, being, you know, like an analogy for Melon, right? Then he abandoned his experiments when things got hard. Only have to come back and deal with it when it begins to cause trouble for other people. And it's weird, there are arguments against it, like Yafya, like, I don't know, man. Melon could have turned out this way anyway, due to his lack of taste and sex drive, right? Fine, sit. But at the same time, his father pretty much guaranteed he would end up on that road the moment he left without saying why. He just left Melon without anyone. No father figure or male figure, right? And his mother was left psychologically damaged by the experience as well. It was irresponsible, and it was morally questionable, right? Not questionable. I'm going to say it like this from my perspective. It was morally wrong that Melon's father did that. It was wrong, straight up. And we're seeing the what are you doing? Oh, we're seeing the consequences of that decision. All the chaos that Melon caused, leaving his child to be raised alone, knowing what type of life, like he had to have known what type of life he would face, and he didn't want to be around for it. And he has the audacity to show up at the end. Are you serious? He's the monster here. That was so long-winded. I'm sorry about that, but man, when I get revelations like this, it's just, dude. And it's crazy because Legacy could have easily ended up in a similar position to Melon. Thank goodness he had Legacy had people in his corner, right? He had Jack, he had Gosha, he had Going. He had people who cared for him. Melon didn't have anything. Couldn't taste anything. Legacy, at least he had his egg sandwiches. Okay, so moving on. Let's see. The revenge of the love failure will be complete if you bite my throat. So is that what Melon calls himself? Oh, okay. I see. So that's what Melon calls himself. He calls himself a love failure? So why is... Okay, so Legacy did bite him. So he wants him to finish him off? Melon? At that moment, when I looked at him carefully, speaking with his natural voice, not his usual sarcastic and high-pitched one, he appeared to be an ordinary animal. Just a completely ordinary animal in his mid-20s. What's the matter? Just do it, Legacy. That's what's happening. Okay. So Melon, he's facing reality. He's like, yeah, I lost the fight. So you win. There's no more game. He understands that it's over for him. There's nothing left for him to do. Just like his mom understood as well. Like, this is life. This is reality now. So he's, what's it called? He's not determined. I'm trying to find the word for it. He's resigned himself to his fate. That's what I'm saying. Oh, this was such a good chapter. The implications of this are just so overwhelming. I'm gonna have to meditate on it a little bit more and think about what I just read, but I'm pretty sure I said what I wanted to say. A glimpse into his true face of life. What would Gosha and Yafya do with the true evil? Let's find out next chapter. And next chapter it is. I'll see you then. See you during 189. Bye now.